Abbey here with High Five Practice, and thanks to all of you for joining us on another week of Let's Eat with me, Abbey. Yay! So every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Central Time, we all get together, and I like to fill you guys up on some knowledge, all things dental. And although you guys may be eating, when I say eat, I'm talking about something different, as you all may know. It's a formula to generate loyal patients for life, and it stands for Educate, Automate, and Target. Again, EAT stands for Educate, Automate, and Target. So today I have a very special guest, Mr. Kyle Johnson. Yay! He is the VP of Growth of NexHealth. And we're going to talk about patient communications, automations, having educational content, targeted emails, and really understand the patient experience online and how to make it efficient. So thanks, Kyle, so much for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks so much, Abby. It's great to be here.
Yeah, well, for those that may not know you or NexHealth, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about you and NexHealth.
Yeah, sure. My name is Kyle. I'm head of growth here at NexHealth. We make software for doctors and dentists to help them grow their practice, primarily by improving the patient experience and making it easier to manage that for the front office. We've been around for a number of years. Before that, I've been in health tech at a couple other companies, and just really enjoy marketing and engineering, and excited to talk about these things with you today.
Yeah, and that's why I'm so glad to have you, because like we were talking about earlier, there's so many facets that you're bringing, the marketing aspect and also just being with NexHealth, and we can really dive into some great tips for dentists to take home with them. So
absolutely.
Thank you for joining me, and I'm so excited to pick you up. But yeah, when it comes to NexHealth, because I think it's so valuable of the platform that you guys provide. And we were just talking about this, so to clue people in, as far as what's really great about you guys is you're more of a development or a developer aspect of a software. It's not necessarily just there for a patient communication tool. It started as just making sure it's more efficient and it's easier for the users to utilize.
Yeah, I mean, we started with, I think our core feature is that that online scheduling and patient communication. But we realized pretty quickly that you can't do that well if you don't integrate, with practice management software, the dental software you're already using to run your practice. And so, we build all of our own integrations. We integrate seamlessly with the software that dentists already use to manage their practice. And I think that is where a lot of that value comes from and allows for that automation to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I know with a lot of our practices, that's always what does happen. Or if we have new clients, we're asking you guys, right? Like we never have to ask about the management software because you always have the integration. So that is a halt in its own. If you have EagleSoft, if you have Dentrix, if you have Dolphin, whatever you have, most of the time you guys have the connection, which makes it so useful for the practice to not have to worry about switching management softwares just to take advantage of your services. Which
exactly. Yeah. We definitely don't want people to have to change the way they run their business to offer a great patient experience. I think that you should be able to do both of those things, at the same time.
Yeah. Well, Kyle, with your experience, where do you see the most value with NexHealth when it comes to your clients?
Yeah. I think the problem that we really solve is just making it easier for patients to take action. And so across the patient journey, right? Like you can spend a lot of time and effort getting people to your webpage, search optimization, Facebook ads, direct mail. But if you don't make it easy for patients to book an appointment with you, with that level of convenience that they expect from Uber and Uber Eats, right? Then you're going to lose potential patients. They're going to look elsewhere. And so I think ultimately that's the problem that we solve really well. And we complement the marketing activities you're already doing to get more patients.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that you say that. We're always doing like blog series. And we were just talking about this. The next segment that we have is make it easy and how you can make it easy for the patient. And we're talking about appointments. Like, how do you make it easy? And I think you hit it right on the head is just the accessibility. Sure that people know, if they're on their phone, which most likely they are, they're on their phone and they're on Google, then make it easy for like, you better have some kind of button in there for them to book an appointment straight from the Google card. Or if they get an email from you, don't tell them to book an appointment. Actually make it easy for them to book an appointment, because you can tell them all day what to do, but if they're not able to do it, what's the point, you know?
Yep.
And text messages, I mean, any platform, website, big button up at the top, just making it easy for them to act, so they don't have to think about it. It's not, hey, I need to book a dental appointment and I'll get to it. It's right here, right now. I'm going to do it right now and be done with it. Like that's
exactly
convenience that everybody.
Yeah. You want to take away as many reasons as you can for patients to not follow through and actually schedule that appointment, right? And then it goes to the other features we offer. Appointment reminders makes it easier for patients to actually show up for the appointment because they know about it and they have the opportunity to tell you if they can't make it. So that's kind of like the thought behind all the features we offer. It's reducing that friction. It's making it really easy for patients to do the things they need to do throughout that patient journey.
Yeah. And when we're talking about efficiency or making it easy for patients, I see the efficiency as well in the practice. What I love about you guys is you have everything under one roof, like I should say one login more than anything. One login, I can get an online scheduler, my online forms, pay my bill, and as a practice, you can see all that under one spot. And that just, to me, makes it talk better to each other, right? Like if you have multiple that you're using, you're trying to get them to talk to each other more, but you guys have all of it in one spot. So yeah, explain a little bit more about what you offer with NexHealth, like other communications. Yeah.
I mean, of course, right. It starts with the appointment, and then it goes to getting people to show up with the reminders. We have the online forms, right? So you can have paperwork filled out, patients filling out their paperwork before they get to the office, which is, I haven't met anybody that loves sitting in an office filling out paperwork, and it makes it easier for the office staff, right? Because they don't have to handle paper or file that or enter that data into a system and potentially make a mistake. We have a payment feature, so you can send a payment request to a patient instead of having to mail something through snail mail. We've had practices saving hundreds of dollars on stamps just by using our payment feature, digital payment feature. And then we have a lot of communication automation. So, getting patients to come back is super important. It can be expensive to acquire a patient, and automating the messages, telling them when it's time to come back for their teeth cleaning or to get their aligner adjusted. Like that can all be automated with NexHealth. And then we have a reviews component, which is collecting feedback after the appointment. Super important for building that credibility and helping new patients decide that you're the right practice for them. So yeah, that's kind of that whole product suite in a nutshell. And then I think to what you mentioned earlier with the development piece, we have an API and we have other companies building products on top of NexHealth. So like once you're integrated with NexHealth and it's reading and writing, it's your EagleSoft or your Dentrix, you can layer on other solutions, other products that companies have that just seamlessly connect and continue to build on that functionality, which is pretty cool.
It's so cool. The fact that you have the API and you're able to, like you said, talk back to your system, write back, and really make it easy. If you have other softwares, but you're not feeling like they're feeding into the same place, just talk to NexHealth about it. They'll make sure that there's something that is connecting everything to make it easy on the practice.
Yeah, you shouldn't feel like you're having to fight your software. Should be easy.
Right, software is there to complement you, things easier on you, and
exactly.
So seeing it as that's not a good thing. That's a solution. So yeah. Well, you talked a little bit about automations too, and
yeah,
I'm so excited. I love automations because obviously at Hi-Fi Practice, we manage your guys' software. We manage and maximize what you guys already have because we totally get a lot of times people are going to go into your software. They're going to have all the intentions in the world to use everything. But what we typically find is it might have been turned on when they first set it up, but then they turned everything off because maybe a patient complained and they got scared, so they turned off recall, or they don't want that patient to call back again, or another patient to complain and say, why did you call and text me or email me? So what we do is we make sure that those are turned on, and we make sure that everything is working and is easy for the patient as well, based on all your services, right? But that being said, since we do typically find sometimes automations are turned off, appointment reminders are usually turned on. But what are automations that you think should be turned on no matter what, that practices should be utilizing?
Yeah. So we do enable you to automate a lot of different types of communications. I think that the ones you should always have on, right, are like appointment reminders. That just saves your staff so much time. And like playing phone tag with patients is a problem you don't have to struggle with anymore. We have the solution for that. I would say the other one would be, just setting up for routine visits, setting up automated recall messages. Managing a really large practice with a lot of patients that need to come in, once or twice a year, is a problem you don't really have to struggle with if you have that recall campaign automated and set up correctly.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you, making sure those are turned on. And what it really comes down to too is people want to have that touch, that phone call touch, and I get that. I get that in a lot of practices, they want to have that intimate touch, but there's still the opportunity that a lot of patients just want a text message or an email sent to them. So if you're able to understand what they actually want to do, then first off, get your call list down by having recall turned on and making sure that that's running. So then the people that you call is because they want to be called and you've actually asked them. Like if they say, if they never answer their phone, you should note that in your records and say, they always respond via text. They always respond via email, because that allows you to know, I'm not going to call these people and put in time in the front and lose all that time and not actually get results out of it. And the patient's not having a great experience because you're not communicating in a way that they like, it's not communicating in a way that they're reacting to. So it's making sure that, okay, they'd rather have email and text, turn on the automation. Do not send that out manually, because you might as well call them and leave voicemails at that point. So much time, where you can just turn that on and keep it running. And I also like the appointment reminders. And I think a lot of people don't really, like, you have online, online forms. Why not connect that's connected? When you send out a text message, it seems so obvious, but I think a lot of times people miss out on that too, is if they're a patient and they're coming in for an appointment, send them that link and let them know that they can fill that out online, because you're totally right. Nobody wants to fill out you actually submit it right.
That's the thing. You can string all these things together and really make it super easy, not just for the patient, but for you as the office staff, right? There's a lot of steps there that you don't have to manually account for. And to your point earlier about receiving phone calls, I do hear practices say, we really like to offer that personal touch. I would challenge that a little bit and say, there's probably like a subset of your patients that really want that personal touch. Know your audience. If you're predominantly catering to younger millennials, they probably just want that automated message, and that's where NexHealth comes in.
And it's the practice should want that too. I mean, I can't imagine sending that out if all the call. I mean, we automate some of our things too. If I had to keep that on track of every call, every email, every text that I have to send out to different people, automate it. That's the technology's there, the capabilities are there. Your sanity will be more there if you do it, So just turning those on and they're automatically going out. And what's great about it is that it's actually extracting the data from the management software. It's reading that. So you're only having to input that information into your EagleSoft, Dentrix, OpenDental, whatever. And it'll extract that and send it out based on when their next appointment is or how they're overdue. So everybody, please automate. It'll be so much easier. Well, we talked a little bit about the features that NexHealth has and how different it is in that mindset. What do you think is the least one that people, what do you think that people should definitely take advantage of that?
Yeah. I mean, I think it goes back to what we just touched on, which is like some of the automated communication capabilities. So like the recall capability. And I think, to your point, if you're new to automation, new to this type of software, it can seem a little overwhelming, a little daunting. You don't have to use everything at once. This is something that you can kind of layer on and build it as you go. And I would say that we see some practices be really hesitant around like setting up the recall campaigns, automating that process of getting patients back. But it's usually like a light bulb goes off once they flip the switch and they actually start seeing it work, where you're sending an email or a text message, and within that communication is a real-time availability, calendar where they can just click a button and schedule that follow-up. It kind of goes back to that initial value of making it really easy for patients to take the next step.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's making sure that they're turning the running. And then I even say, make sure you're reading those messages that are going out. I really like the simplicity of your guys' messages, how it's very modern, it's very clean. So it's already great on its own. But customization is really key, and you make it easy in your platform to add photography, to add those links to make sure it is customized. So that's kind of how it's so great together is we come in and make sure that, hey, you've got the platform, you got the awesome numbers to track from it, you have the awesome features to actually be sending things out efficiently and effectively, but step it up a notch, and we'll make sure that the verbiage there is custom to the practice and photography of not just, I like how you guys you don't use stock photography. I say don't use stock, or, use custom, or don't use anything,
Yeah, no. 100% agree there. Yeah, we've all seen the pictures of fake doctors and dentists that not very convincing. I think that's really important. Yeah, like with our platform, right? Like we don't really force you to use like a specific email template. We have some practices that take it really far and have really custom email sequences and templates. So you can make it look, you can add that personalization and differentiation there.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's always key too, is whether it's with us or somebody else, making sure you're getting custom photography and adding those into your messages will make them so much more effective, you guys, because they're not just seeing, like we said, some model that has nothing to do with your practice. Maybe you wish, but no, they're not going to be the person that see when they come in.
With a fake lab coat, yeah.
With a fake lab coat, you're like, no. But show actual photos of your team, your office, your doctor, your patients. We always like to even point out, if you're showing patients that you want more of, it's going to attract them more to it. So if you want more millennial patients, if you want more baby boomers, whatever that may be, get the photos of those actual patients. Or even if you're talking about implants, don't have a kid in the implant photo and send it out and implant, like little things like that. You have to be relatable to your patients and to your audience that you're actually communicating to. That'll only make it more effective. Because if they see, oh, that person looks like me, and this is what even before and after photos, this is what before and this is what it is after, and that could be me, done. Oh, and I can easily click, and I can book online right here. It's so much easier to do it that way instead of, you're eliminating, like we said earlier, the thought out of it. You're eliminating barriers to make it really easy for them to act, which is clutch.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so we kind of talked about what the most neglected is, and as far as patient communications, because I feel like a lot of times people love the happy birthday and like the fun ones, awesome, as long as you're communicating in some way, but really going above and beyond. Is there a campaign that you've noticed, and I can speak on this too, but is there a campaign that you've noticed that has been super effective other than recall or other than the automations, like a type of newsletter or targeted campaign or anything that you've noticed that is really effective?
Yeah, I would say just doing it, right? Like just
Yeah.
getting in the habit of sending out a newsletter or some kind of yeah, basically a newsletter once a month. Maintaining, just providing update news, potential special offers to patients. There's so much noise. We're dealing with so many different things on a daily basis that somebody might have in the back of their head, I really need to go book an appointment, or I need to get my teeth cleaned, but you just forget. And so those repetitive touch points are really important for keeping you top of mind with patients.
Frequency. You're absolutely right. Like it's
Yeah.
not, I think a lot of time, a lot of clients, or not clients, sorry, a lot of potential clients talk about like, oh yeah, we sent out a campaign. It was end of year insurance and it's the best campaign we ever did. And I was like, well, oh, that's awesome. What else did you do? It's just end of year insurance. I'm like, well, of course it's going to be the most effective because it's the only thing you ran, Like,
Yeah. What are you comparing it to?
yeah,
Yeah.
really, but that's awesome. That's exciting, and I totally get why. You don't have time to manage this. You don't have time to send this out, or even know what to send out, how to send it, how to verbalize it. It's hard. I completely get it. That's why there's experts out there for it. But it's frequency. It's doing it consistently and sending out different
Exactly.
types of messages. And
Yep.
when you talk about newsletters, like even think about FAQs, like what is commonly being asked in the practice, what is commonly the patients are asking, because that's what they want to know about. And if you're hearing that over and over, address it, let people know your answer. And instead of individually telling everybody, tell them by the masses and make it, again, efficient. And it also addresses a concern that most people are facing.
Yep. Consistency is key. It's interesting. I think most people, it's like they stop right before the marketing starts working, and you just have to give it time, right? You have to and people are busy. They might see that first or second newsletter, but it can often take multiple times, right, for them to actually set some time aside and follow through.
That's so true. They stop before it gets good,
Yep.
Marketing is patience. I literally just told this to somebody the other day. It's patience and it's A/B testing. that's
Yeah.
And I think what's different too is practices don't see themselves as marketers, or that these emails and text messages are marketing. Or if they do, that's why they don't want to do it, because they're like, oh, I don't want to sell to them. Like, I don't want to market to them. So based on, like, you have a lot of experience with marketing and patient communication. So based on that, what tips would you give the audience about, making sure what marketing could be effective for them?
Yeah. I can relate or understand maybe the sentiment of not wanting to feel like you're being super salesy, right? But my marketing doesn't have to be constantly pushing like an offer on a patient. You should think about it from the perspective of these people are as busy as I am. I get to the office, people are constantly vying for my attention from the moment I walk in the door to the moment I leave. It's the same for my patients, and this is just a gentle nudge, basically keeping the practice top of mind, and making it easier for them to book an appointment and to follow through. Is how I would think about it. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's educating them.
Yep.
Like you're actually, we like to always say we know how to talk to the patients because we are the patients. So it's putting the patient hat on, and it's not marketing in a sense of, well, it is marketing, but it's more in a sense of just educating them and making them feel validated, making them feel like they have more control over their decisions.
Yep.
And if relying solely on telling them all that information and them absorbing it in the chair, that's not a great experience. They're not going to do it. They're going to forget. Like you said, they're busy. They're going to walk out the door.
They're going to 100% forget. Yeah. And that's a great point. I mean, good marketing is education, right? It's sharing knowledge. It's empowering people to make a decision that they feel comfortable with, and that's a huge reason why people don't take action. They don't have the information that they need to feel comfortable making that decision.
Yeah, I love that, empowering them, because that's absolutely, you're empowering them to not only take control but also to act. Like that's huge, and they feel more confident. I love that too when they say, when they're in their chair, I don't understand why their treatment wasn't accepted, or we were so excited about it in the chair. Well, they were excited about it, but then they forgot, or they couldn't say the pitch that you gave them or stuff that you told them. back to their spouse, they forgot. So you have to tell them through email, through text, through your website, through Facebook, through whatever, to make sure that they understand all the value that you discussed in the chair. Otherwise, it's a disservice to them. You're just you're not.
Yeah, it's like you hear that conversation probably 5 times a day. They hear it once, so. It would be difficult to remember that, you're talking to somebody that just has way less context and information about the topic, and it's really important to educate.
Yeah. And the same goes for us marketing to them, right? Like I don't expect to tell you one thing about how effective email marketing is, and then you remember everything I told you. So that should go the same with you with the patient. They're not living and breathing dentistry or treatment. They're not. But you have to make it exciting. You have to make it informative, and you have to, again, make it easy for them to actually act on when they're stoked about it. Don't just like leave them hanging and I'll do it later.
Exactly. Yeah. We all get excited about things and that can fizzle out, right? I think we can all probably think about that happening. And that's like one of the big problems that online scheduling solves.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Kyle, is there any other tips that you want to give to our audience about whether it's NexHealth or marketing or anything that you want to make sure everybody knows
Oh,
about?
man. I think it just comes back to, I really, I love working at NexHealth. I joined because I feel like we're solving a really unique problem. There's, it's not enough just to get in front of patients. You have to provide a great experience. You have to make it easy for them. And so, if you are doing some good marketing, or you're thinking about doing marketing, there's really, the perfect complement to that is diving in and getting your feet wet with the online scheduling, setting up some automated appointment reminders, giving your office staff more time to spend on the education and doing the higher value activities with patients, and then simultaneously, just giving a better experience overall to the patient.
Yeah, I love that, because at the end of the day, that's what we're all here for, right? The clinicians are there to take care of the patients. We're there to make it easy for the patients and educate. And really, it just, utilize those resources that are out there. These are resources that people have been wanting for years, and now it's here. And I think COVID definitely pushed people to be more digital, and not practices, but patients. They're more comfortable and more, oh my God, for a while there, I was like, I can physically go to restaurants. I kind of forgot that I could do that, I used to ordering online and having it delivered to my house and staying in my sweatpants. So
it's pretty crazy. It's like, I think coming out of COVID, it's not much you can't do remotely. And people have generally kind of have that expectation now.
Expectation is the best way to put it. Like, it's not just you're doing them a disservice, but they're expecting that from offices. And if you don't provide it, they'll go to the next person that does, because it's so easy for them to look up the next person and find people that have online forms. So you have to be able to have all those amenities and services to provide them with a better experience. Because at the end of the day, folks, that's what they're looking for.
Yeah, that's how you differentiate, for sure.
Absolutely. Well, Kyle, thanks so much for coming on with me today. I loved being here and getting some intel. It's been super informative. And just so everybody knows, so like I said, we manage and maximize NexHealth, and they have been so awesome to work with and with us. So we are actually, if you sign on with High Five and you're not a client yet, and NexHealth, you can actually get 2 months free with NexHealth, and they're also taking out the implementation fee. So you got nothing to lose. You might as well. And the best part is we'll manage and maximize it. And then you have all these automations and systems working on the back end, so you guys can focus on your clinical care, and your office can stay sane and focus on claiming insurance and doing all the other million things that they're trying to manage. So I just wanted to give that little token out there for everybody that wants to give us both a try. And all you have to do is contact us. So, Kyle, I'm going to go ahead and put NexHealth's website up here.
Sure.
For people that want to contact, check out their website, you guys. It's great. It has a lot of information. You can also book a demo right there on their website, or you can go ahead and give them a call.
Great. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much, Abby. It was great chatting with you today.
great chatting with you too. And then if you guys want to reach out to High Five Practice, you can visit our website at highfivepractice.com. Or you can go ahead and just call Trevor directly. He'll hook you up, make sure that you're taken care of at 615-823-8055. But yes, thank you, Kyle. You've been awesome. And I'm definitely going to have you on in the future. So
looking forward to it. Yeah, sounds good.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for joining us, everybody, for lunch today. I'd love to have you back next week. It's going to be, again, Wednesday at 12 p.m. Central Time. We will see you there right on Facebook Live. Bye, everyone.